plural. He works twice as hard as everybody else, so that's why we call him Phil. He's been with us for about 4 years. He's going to be a great asset to the office. Please use him as a resource. Just real quick, housing starts came out. Housing permits were up 9.7% for the first quarter compared to last year.
Good.
Okay. The biggest thing, median home prices were up substantially. So they went from 298,000 to 326,000, which means it's really hard for somebody in the entry level to find housing right now. Okay, so that's where if you got buyers out there, that's where you can find the biggest problem finding those homes. Just wanted to share that with you. Any questions from anybody? Yep.
So I want to make sure everybody understands, Wheels is now a part of the team.
Yes. Yep.
So we will have 3 loan officers.
Yeah. We've been that busy, and you can reach any one of us for any question. We all work together, so please understand that.
Yeah, it's not one or the other, it's all together.
Absolutely.
Is that
Where's
good?
he from?
Where's he from? That's
New York.
We've got Boston, New York.
Well, New York, and Georgia.
Yeah, this one's
Homegrown.
Wilson, Georgia grad.
Homegrown,
So
yeah.
I'll try to be easy on him
We
during
all
football
will.
season.
Go Georgia. Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, Will. Charlie.
Hey guys, Charlie Pollard. I'm a closing attorney. McMean
You are
Heller.
the closing.
closing.
Right. I'm from South Carolina originally. Now that we're talking about that.
He's
But
a Georgia Tech boy, though.
yeah, I've been here more than half my life now. So I guess I'm a Georgia now.
Oh.
Yeah. Used to it. All right. So April, tax time, right? So I'm talking about income taxes for a second here, and I'm not a CPA, but just a refresher on how gains from real estate sales are taxed. So if you sell property in Georgia or anywhere else, if it was your primary residence, you don't pay taxes on that income. And what primary residence means, it was your primary residence as reported on your prior taxes out of the prior 5 years. That's all that means. So you get $100,000 on your sale, it does not get taxed. Okay, well if it's not your primary residence and you sell a property in Georgia, if you're a Georgia resident, there's 2 different things, Georgia resident and a non-Georgia resident, the way it's handled in closing. So you sell an investment property. Well, that's income, and depending on other things that are going on with your taxes, it can be taxed, unlike primary residence. One way to avoid that is a 1031 exchange, which we talked about a little bit, and investors use that as a way to roll it over and not get taxed on that transaction. But in general, if you sell an investment property, you're going to have to pay income tax when you file. If you're a non-Georgia resident and you sell an investment property in Georgia, closing attorneys have to deal with it a little bit differently. We actually have to withhold a certain percentage of your gain at closing. In general, it's 3% of the taxable gain, and there's a worksheet. So if you have a seller that's a non-Georgia resident that's selling an investment property, closing attorney may have to withhold some money on the settlement statement. So that's something that comes up a couple times a week for us, and we have to basically collect it just in case they don't file something in Georgia. That's the reason why we have to do that. Because if they don't pay taxes in Georgia, it actually becomes a lien on the property that rolls over and the buyer will have to worry about it. So that's the reason why us as closing attorneys have to deal with it at the closing. The last thing is if you've got a non-U.S. citizen selling a property. This is a big number. So if a non-U.S. citizen sells a property, and this is nationwide, they have to, the top level in general, obviously moving parts can change, but it's 15% of the sales price has to be withheld by the agent. It used to be 10, but now it's 15. It's not about gain, it's about the sales price itself. And the reason to think about that, and we do see that every once in a while, someone from China selling a property or another place. We see Israel a lot, and we have to collect that on the top end. One thing to keep in mind about that is obviously if you've got a client selling it, you want to let them know that if they don't already. But if you've got somebody interested in buying a property that's a non-U.S. citizen, and maybe they're, don't have a social security number for other reasons, and they want to buy something with cash, legally they can buy something, but you have to tell them when you go to sell it, if you don't have a social security number, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're going to have to go ahead and cough up 15% of the sales price. It gives people a little bit of pause about buying on the front end. So, taxes.
And that's for a house
Questions?
they live in?
Well, the thing is, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you don't have a tax ID, and you sell a property, I mean, you haven't been claiming it as your primary residence on these tax forms to begin with. So So basically, when we get a property and someone's on title, I mean, you don't have to be a U.S. citizen to own property or to sell it. But when we ask them, are you a U.S. citizen? What's your social security number? And they say, I don't have one. Then we have to, by federal law, we have to go ahead and collect 15%. Again, it can change a little bit if there's some particulars, but in general, 15% of the sales price, and go ahead and submit that to the IRS. That's all I got.
Good. Real quick, let's thank our friends at CBC and McManamy, because they are going to be hosting a happy hour for us on April 17th. Does anybody know what April 17th is this year? Tax Day. So when you are done with your taxes, you can knock back a few cold ones with us. So thank these guys at the front for that.
Nobody wants to be on the road with a bunch of drunk CPAs.
That's right. That's right. Get your own Uber. Or bring a sleeping bag. Spend the night here.
Drew.
Drew. Yes, ma'am.
We want to thank you, first of all. I don't know if you all realize this, but this is Drew Isles with House Call, and he provided lunch today, and we're grateful for that, but he also cooked it.
Wow.
And it's great, I know.
Well, I hope you should ask that before they eat it. Sorry, because otherwise I bought it somewhere.
No, you did not.
Well, anyway, thank you very much. My name is Drew Ellis. I'm the owner and operator of House Call. I'm also an inspector. I also go out in the field. I still do inspections. I still crawl on your roofs, as all do my inspectors. Some of the things that may set us apart from some of the other inspection companies is that we are licensed by the state of Louisiana. Well, that doesn't do us any good, Drew. We're in Georgia. But what that does do is keeps our guys regulated. It keeps us in school. It keeps us our CE hours, just like you all have CE, we have CE. So it keeps us sharp. And so hopefully we get a better inspection for you all. And one of the big things that I teach all of my inspectors is your buyers have gone in and they like this house. They've made their offer. We want to keep them from going on one side or the other. We want to keep them running the same path. And we do a very good job of that. The way we talk to them, there's nothing that's alarming. I'm an old contractor, 20 years. I've seen it all, believe me. I used to renovate things that were blighted. So I'm used to seeing it all. Nothing scared me. And I tell my guys to do the same. There's nothing that can't be fixed. And I think you all know that. When you walk into a house and your buyer says, oh, I don't know, what do you think? And you see some of the problems, you're going to know, but you have to prep them for that. You know that. So no house is perfect. And we get in there, we're going to give them everything that they need, the tools they need to make the right decision. But we're certainly not going to say, oh, man, look at this paint color, look at that, look at this. We don't do that. Okay? That's not our goal. Our goal is to make sure that you guys get the house sold, seller sells their house, buyer buys the house, everybody's happy. Okay? 3 ways to go ahead and set an inspection up with us. You can call me personally. I don't care if it's Friday night at midnight. You get a binding agreement that came across on your fax. Call me and say, Drew, I want to get this thing done Monday. Let's go. I'll be more than happy to answer that phone. I can promise you, I sleep with my phone. Some of you all that have done that know. Okay. So.
I do too, and they call me early in the morning.
Oh yeah, no, I got one at 6:30 this morning. So I'm good with that. I totally don't care. It's great. It's business. It's all about doing business. You can also get online and go to housecallusa.net and schedule it through there. Just ask for Drew, the home inspector, and it'll set it all up, answer all the proper questions, and it'll send me an email immediately, and then I'll respond back to you. Or if you can call a fully staffed office. Okay. So some people think I'm a franchise owner, that we're a small little company. We are not. We are a team of over 150 inspectors right now. We're growing. We're in 11 states already. We're growing. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I handle the entire state of Georgia. So there's nothing I won't go and do for you. Okay, so you get one that I'm in Jonesboro today. I got Conyers later. I got Cummings after that. I mean, you know, I'm all over the board, just starring. But that's just to let you know that we can do what you need to get done. Okay, so you're basically a one-stop shop. Okay. We also do all the standard testing, radon, lead. We do water testing. We can do mold testing. We do all that fun stuff for you too if you need to. Okay. I do recommend that everybody do a radon test now because it's become so prevalent. It takes it off your plate, takes it off my plate. For $199, it's an insurance policy. Let your buyers do it. Encourage them to do it. It just gets it out of the way. I understand it's another thing you may have to deal with, but it's well worth the headache to get it off the board and know exactly what they have. And that way your buyers got all the cards on the table. So, anything else? Does anybody have any questions? I know home inspections are all kind of the same, but we like to try and separate ourselves out. But is there any questions you all have that are specific to anything you need to know or haven't gotten in the past?
Are all of your people licensed?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Just best phone number for you?
Best phone number is, I'll have brochures out here. I got lunch a little bit tardy this morning for lunch, so normally have my brochures. I'll have brochures out there, but you can call my cell number is 404-615-7427 or 800-905-1558. That's my fully staffed office in New Orleans. And they answer all my calls, they can schedule it, they send me the schedule, they can look at my schedule, give you pricing, everything. Very simple, very speedy, and make it easy for you all.
At the cell.
What's that?
Can you write your cell phone on the board?
Sure. And I'll have brochures again, I'll hand those out. I should have been a doctor with my writing, I apologize.
Perfect, thank you. While Drew's putting his number up there, thank you again, Drew, for
You're
the
very welcome.
amazing
Oh,
lunch.
The little, we'll say this before I quit, the little, I guess corn and whatever, I made that up this morning, so if it's bad, let me know. I just threw it together, I'm not gonna have a vegetable thing. So I just threw it, I figured I'd throw some stuff together, and let me know if it tastes good.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, thank y'all, appreciate it, y'all have a great day.
Get your pens out, write down a couple of quick dates for us. Quantum Leap for Kids. If you have someone important in your life that is between the ages of 18 and 24, on Saturday, April 21st, Lisa Archer is going to be here to teach Quantum Leap for Kids. And again, this is a program that Gary Keller wrote for his own son, to teach him how to live a very, as much as you can, balanced or counterbalanced life. And I've had two very dear friends of mine go through the program and suggest it highly. The other thing is April 20th, which is on Friday, the day before. Lisa Archer will be doing a social media class here in the Market Center. And that'll be in the afternoon, so please block those days for us. James?
Yeah. So normally I'd like to go low and slow, like my barbecue when I go through this, but today we're going to flash fry our way through our educational opportunities. So right after this class, if you have not signed up, the Peters Company, Andy and Leslie Peters, are going to be doing attracting, welcoming, and developing talent. If you have not signed up, we've got a few seats left, so please be here. You will regret it if you miss this class. Thursday, March 29th, the business planning workshop. If you don't have 7 bank accounts for yourself, then you need to be in this class, because as a business, there's a reason that you should have 7 bank accounts. Teaser, you should be in that class. April 3rd, McManamy will be here talking about exhibits and amendments from 9:30 to 12. I get a lot of questions about exhibits and amendments. This is a great opportunity to dig a little bit deeper on that. We will also have, at the same time, the 5 to 15 mastermind with Justin Landis. That's amazing. We have already talked about, so I think I need to hire an assistant on April 10th. It is on the calendar, great panel, not gonna wanna miss it. April 12th from 12 to 1:30, Robin is leading the single agent mastermind. And then on April 17th, just a little bit later, Robin will be doing profit share. April 23rd, we're going to be doing the One Thing workshop. I'm not even going to talk about it because someone way more qualified is going to talk about that in just 1 second, Mr. Peter Chattel. And then on Thursday and Friday, May 3rd to 4th, we have an all-day, 2-day event. It's called Train the Presenter. This is a class that is going to teach you how to train at a really, really high level. KW is the #1 training company in the world. It's because we have classes like this that inform the trainers how to present at a high level. So if you are thinking about training, if you are training right now, sign up. It's on the training calendar. You can sign up on the event right there. With that said, Peter, if you would like to come up and share 5 minutes
Sure,
of what the
absolutely.
One Thing workshop is.
Great,
Thank you,
thank
folks. Hold your applause, please.
Good morning. So, how many of you ever wonder why some people seem to get more done than others? Anybody wonder that? How many of you, just by show of hands, how many of you have a GPS or a one-page business plan for 2018? Okay. How many of you have translated the GPS into a 411 and are using a 411? Great. And how many then carried that 411 into time block? Okay, even fewer. So, the One Thing workshop, based on the #1 best-selling business book by Gary Keller and Jay Pappison. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it, but I encourage you even more to mark your calendars for April 23rd. It's an all-day workshop. I'm offering a special to every agent in this room and anyone else who signs up, limited to 15 agents, 2-for-1 deal. The workshop costs $199. You can get it 2-for-1 when you bring someone who's not a real estate agent. Preferably someone who has their own business, maybe a client, maybe a mortgage broker, maybe a home inspector, but someone who is not a real estate agent. You bring somebody who's not a real estate agent, it's essentially a 2-for-1 deal. See me, it's limited to 15 agents. See me, there's actually a sign-up sheet. I'll start. I've got flyers for the day I'll be passing around and flyers for the 2-for-1 deal. So, here's the deal. Success leaves clues. People who are successful typically write books about it. All right? This training is not, this workshop, let me be very clear, my intention is that it's a transformational experience for participants. What does that mean? You will look back on the day as a crossroads in your life, because this training is not just about how to be successful with business, it's about how to be successful in your life. Okay? We talk about the 6 lies between you and extraordinary results. The 3 commitments that are required to achieve extraordinary results. The 4 thieves of productivity. And we also will develop, focused on real estate, a GPS for 2018. How many of you have written your goal for 2018? How many of you have written it down? Good, because by writing it down, you increase the likelihood of your succeeding with that goal by how much? 39.5%. Now here's the deal. Here's success leaves clues. You want to almost double that potential for success? You not only write it down, but you couple it with weekly accountability. In its highest form, coaching. How many of you are in coaching here at the Market Center? If you're not, and you're not achieving your goal, there's no secret here to goal achievement. Write it down and tag on weekly accountability. We talk about that in the training. Okay? We talk about other strategies. Okay? We talk about things like the Great Retrace, which comes out of Michael Mayer's 7 Levels, as a possible strategy to improve your success. We talk about the bullet note system. How many of you have heard about the bullet note? Okay, well, if you don't have notebooks that you can find things in, this is a powerful system. And the difference between achieving where you are and where you want to be typically is the need for a new system. System is, you may want to write this down, an acronym. Save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what systems are. They allow you to save yourself time, energy, and money. So we talk about systems in the One Thing workshop. I encourage you to hold the date, sign up for the 2-for-1 deal. It's an outstanding. I also offer a money-back guarantee. If you don't get your money's worth from the training, I'll give you your money back. No questions asked. I've not had to do that so far. I'm not really worried about doing it because this is a tremendously powerful workshop. You want to elevate your performance? When we're coming to the end of the first quarter, how many are exceeding your goal for 2018? If you're not exceeding your goal, come to the workshop. Make a $200 investment or a $100 investment in yourself if you bring somebody else and supercharge your success. Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm looking for Kenya Green right quick, please, dear.
Kenya's in the back. Hey, everybody. What is culture? So, of course, you know, in our market center, we just, I'm sorry, I'm considering everybody. I just want to make sure that you are fully aware of what culture is. And we like to display that in this market center. So we do have a great one for this week. So thank you, James, for texting that to me too. So in regards to culture, this is the one that we're going to talk about. It is, and I'm standing in the way, I'm sorry. So helping someone in the market center willingly let's repeat that, willingly, and with a smile, even though you are busy. So honestly, we are all so busy in this market center. However, there are still people that may approach you and that, need your help. And so it is really kind if you would just take a moment and stop to help someone else, right, with a smile. What I like to do is I like to put myself in a position where, you know what, when I needed help and I went to a certain person, I remember how they were and how, they were really warm, and they embraced me and they helped me. And it could take maybe 5 minutes. So we just want to make sure that you guys are in that place, good energy, where you're helping people, because when we all help each other, guess what? We continue to be number one. And we still want to be number one throughout the whole year. So please do that. Can y'all do that?
Yeah.
Can I see your pearly white?
Yeah.
Yes! I love it, I love it. So also too, we want to touch on Red Day. So can I have Jenna and Dory up here to bring in the other good energy? While we're walking up here, Jenna and Dory, they sent an email out in regards to Red Day. So they are part of the culture committee, and I am going to let them speak at this time. Go ahead, ladies.
Okay, so who can tell me what day Red Bull says right
Not
there?
cheaters. Close your eyes.
Who can tell us what Red Day is? We talked about it at team meeting last week. Yeah, Peter, what is it?
Well, it's a day dedicated to live the culture of Keller Williams by giving back to the community we're a part of.
In honor of Mo Anderson's birthday, which
Yes.
is in May. Yes, and we are going to the Fuji's Academy again. If you did not see team meeting last week or did not stream it, we're not going to go into that whole long thing. That would take the whole meeting. But we are kicking off our fundraising goals. So last year, the office donated $30,000 to the Fuji's. And this year our goal is bigger. This year our goal is $50,000. We want to be able to hand Luma a check for $50,000. And we're starting it right here, right now. We have passed out little pieces of paper that if you want to charge this to your office bill, if your office bill is up to date, that was the disclaimer, you may charge it to your office bill. We have a Venmo account also set up, or you could give us a check. And so we're looking for you to reach deep into your heart and souls and donate what you can to these wonderful children, these wonderful war-torn refugee children that are making their way in our world and doing it in a very big way.
What's your goal for today?
Our goal for today is $5,000. We want to raise $5,000 to start off fundraising. Yes, Reagan.
Who do you make the check to?
Keller Williams, Peachtree Road.
Thank you.
Yes. Does anybody need a slip if they want to charge it to their office bill? I've got them up here. We put them on desks. Does anybody have any questions about Red Day? You can volunteer your time that day. You can donate. CBC and McManamy are always there to donate the food, and they grill the hamburgers and the hot dogs. It's a fun day. You want to talk about what else the day is all about?
Yeah, so basically, if you haven't been to Red Day, Red Day across Keller Williams, each office does something different, but this is our 6th, right? 6th annual with the Fuji's, and even if you can't donate money, we do, your time is just valuable as well. So just being there, like seeing the smile, seeing the smile on the kids' faces and just interacting with them, like basically think about your field day. I won't say that I stayed at home for my field day in middle school, but just like you guys look forward to your field day, like these kids, like honestly look forward to this day all year. So just putting this on for them, without donations, we can't make this day possible. So these donations really do matter, and as your time. So we'll send out more emails of how to sign up, but even if you can only donate $5, everything adds up. So, and we're in the #1 office, so we can make it happen.
So we want to hit our goal with $50,000. And when Kenya called over to, I don't know if you talked to Luma or you talked to her assistant, and she asked her, do you want us to do something different this year? And she was like, no, they love field day. They look forward to field day. Keep it the same. So one of our new agents, Joe Beck, who is a DJ and he just moved here from Chicago, he's donated his time. He's going to be our DJ. I mean, it's going to be a blast. It's always a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Do you want to say something?
Mario.
I have a comment. I just want to point out, like, culture as you're, what's the word, exuding culture, helps recruit people. I had a recruit come in, possible recruit. She just loved everybody. She was naming everybody. Oh, and I met so-and-so. And I met, you don't even have to be here if you guys are just aware of what Kenya said. And what a feeling. I don't have to be here, and you guys got it, and she's going to join the office in about a week.
Thank you for
So,
bringing
I think
that.
culture people who really take that seriously, and you know, everybody gets right sometimes, but just be aware that you're not only helping each other, you're helping your coworkers recruit in cases, and you're not even aware of it. So a big thank you from me.
And Dory made a good point. It's a good touch to your database too. Is telling people you want to help donate to this cause and these kids, and so it's easy. You made it easy with Venmo. Just one click of the thumb. So, what did you say?
That's perfect.
Oh, so yeah, the account for Venmo is just Keller Williams, Peachtree Road, so easy to find. Just check office bill, Venmo, make it easy for you. So.
Is that, I'm not very technologically advanced, is that something that's like a link on Facebook that you can post, or?
It's an
is
app,
that-
so
okay.
it connects to your bank account. So disclaimer for Venmo, since it is an app, there is just
Yeah,
like any
I know.
other technology and some
Talking about this
can
in your client.
Yeah,
talk to
I'm talking
yeah,
about a little thing, like a little blurb of what we're doing that we can pass on to other people through Facebook or
We'll
something
get
like
something.
I've got
for
some
you.
yeah, for
Okay,
you on that.
awesome.
Yeah. I'll
Thank
send
you
it out.
all. I'm gonna pass this
you.
around.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
One more plug, we are recruiting for culture committee. We have our meetings every first Wednesday of the month. Next week is gonna be Tuesday from 1 to 2, so we'd love for you all to join. Only varsity members, only. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Kenya.
Thank you.
March 30th, the Atlanta Business Chronicle is going to feature our award winners from our office. So in the Atlanta Business Chronicle, so when this comes out, you may want to stop by and grab a copy. Someone, I'm not gonna say who, but asked for 200 extra copies, so I'm trying to make sure you all get one if you want one. This is for, this has all of our award winners, and then again, for 2017, you all were named the #1 office in the city. So, congratulations. Speaking of Facebook, there's a lot of things being put on there. We're #1 on this street corner under this sign. After you pass that mud puddle, we're #1 in that area. But this is all of Atlanta from the Atlanta Business Chronicle. No matter how you slice it, Peachtree Road has ended up in the #1 spot. So be proud of that. And I'm getting you copies, hopefully, that you will put in your listing presentations and use those. So those will be in sometime after the official one comes out. I just was able to grab an extra copy. So very excited about that. I need you all to listen to me for just a minute because I need your help on something. I've been telling you coming soon, the office is going to get a beautiful new facelift. I'm going to stand in line and see if I can too. But it's going to get a great new facelift, and it's going to start, listen to me, not this Friday, but next Friday. So here's what I need you to help me with. They're destroying all of the tile that's in the front lobby. So the front lobby and down that hallway, it's going to be a little wretched mess for a few days. So what I need you to do is come and go through the back door. Your key fob works back there. Just come and go through the back door next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and check it on Monday. We're hoping to be finished by Monday. You and I both know that could or could not happen. Putting down all new flooring in the lobby. So you're gonna see a lot of stuff kind of changing in the next few days. But here's my point. Next week, starting on Friday, if I were you, I would probably meet my clients somewhere other than in the office. Because it's gonna look like a little atom bomb went off. But it's gonna be beautiful when we finish. And I'm gonna keep sending out emails so everybody remembers. But if I were you and I could ask for your patience as we have a wonderful new progress, I wouldn't plan on meeting anybody in the office next weekend at all. Not this coming Easter, but the next weekend, okay? Now, I would also say, we've got people in our building that are doing the work, so lock your office doors, okay? I know that you usually do that anyway, so, and this Friday is Good Friday, so our office will not be staffed, so just so you know that. And I know it's the last day of the month, so get your postings done. Now, I am so excited about the technology platform for Keller Williams. How many have downloaded Kelly now? Pretty good. If you have not downloaded Kelly, get your little phone out and download her right now. It's K-E-L-L-E, and you can download her. And while you've got her open, I'm going to talk to you about her just a little bit while you're getting her open. Go ahead and get her on your phone. Get her on your phone. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a toddler. She's about 2 years old. She doesn't know a lot of stuff. She's learning. Now, Siri and Alexa and all them, they're grown. But our little artificial intelligence, Kelly, is just learning. So you're going to ask her stuff and she's going to go, I don't know. But some things you ask her, she's going to know. Here's what I want you to hear me say. Every time you ask her something that she doesn't know, much like a toddler, what's her next plan? She's going to figure it out, isn't she? She's going to go ask. So what I'm trying to tell you is every time you ask Kelly something that she doesn't know, that's recorded somewhere in Austin by all of our code writers. And when enough people ask that same question, they'll start writing code so she can answer that question. There's a little microphone down there when you download Kelly. You see it at the bottom right-hand corner? Touch on that microphone and ask Kelly, what's your GCI for the year? Go ahead and ask her.
She told me I need to set up my CGI goals.
Oh! She nailed you, didn't she? So you haven't set up your CGI goals, she's going to tell you to set them up. Did anybody ask her and they have theirs set up? Your CGI goals, ask her. Or you can type it in. Did anybody get it? Mine came up just like this and she told me I was way behind.
Mine has to clarify the period of time.
Tell her this year. What's my how much? Yeah. What's my GCI 2018? She'll tell you. And she told me I was way behind and needed to get a few more lists. And then she told me exactly how many I needed based on a goal. And I thought, now how? I forgot I was using mine to show someone, and we put their goals in there. And so she counted them up. So she can keep up with your CGI. Right now, it's based on the last time we transmitted. One of the things we're working on is to get that live. You can also ask Kelly to add someone to your referral network. How many times have you gone on all the different Facebook groups and asked for a referral for somebody? I can tell you, you all come and ask me 4 or 5 times a week for a referral in some town. Let me tell you something. What you want to do, and you can be real purposeful, like when you go to convention or if you go to a class out of town, if you meet someone not in Atlanta or not in your area, add them to your referral network. Then you have your own referral network. You can go straight to some and find someone. So this morning, did anybody get a text from me? Cara did. What was I asking?
You were asking to join my referral network, and I went to Kelly and I opened up Kelly and I added you from her.
See there? So now we're in our referral network. So I want you to try it right now. How many have added somebody to your referral network? Awesome. Try it again. Add somebody else. go in and say add blank, say a name to my referral network. I add John Thompson and I got 3 John Thompsons. And it'll come up and it'll show you their picture and who they are, and you just touch on that one, and then it'll open up a window and say add to my referral network, and you add it to your referral network and it sends them a text. James and I did it this morning and added each other.
You haven't sent me any referrals yet.
I know I'm a slacker. Who got one added? Awesome, John. Did you get one added, Andrew? Anybody having trouble?
How do you log in? What password is it?
Oh,
connected
great question. She said, what's your password and login? Same as when you go on the intranet.
On my KW.
On my KW, on the intranet.
It may give you error first time, but you try the same.
Try it
and
again,
works.
it'll go right in. Just your normal password. Your normal login. And you can start adding people to your referral network. Cool? Pretty awesome. Okay, James, will you get me into mykw.com?
Okie dokie. Give you that.
Because I'm going to show you where the command board is. If you want to write this down so you can get in.
You want to swap seats? You
Yeah,
want
I'll drive.
All right.
When you go
So you're
to-
logged in as me.
Well, I'm going to log in as you then.
Perfect.
Go to resource, let's see.
Are you trying to go to my KW?
No, I'm good. When you get to KW Connect, go to resources. If you want to write it down so you don't forget. Then go to technology. And here is all the things that are going on in technology in one fatal swoop. It's got your green sheets here, it's got your referrals, your lab dashboard, Keller Cloud, Kelly, everything that you need. And if you want to know what's going on with labs, here is the dashboard. It says technology built for agents, by agents. And you can sign up for labs. And it'll tell you on that page what's going on and where it is. And so if you look like right here, there's a lot of users on the commercial app and the contact management app, KW Command, Facebook Ad Accelerator. So there's a lot of people in those labs. Those will probably be the first things coming online. And so now I have the bestest treat on the planet for you. We are so fortunate that one of our very own got tapped to be in a very prestigious lab. He has spent 2 days with 5 other people, 6 other agents, with Gary Keller working in these labs. So I've asked JD to come back and kind of tell us what all he heard and what the future of this looks like. But I want all of us using Kelly, especially for your referral networks right now. Okay? JD.
Awesome. Thanks, Robin. I'm JD Kellum. I've been an agent in this office for a few days. And as Robin said, I was really, it's almost surreal that I was invited to be a part of that group. As the slide said earlier, it's technology built for agents by agents.
Do you want me to take that out of your eyes?
Yeah, that'd be great. The technology landscape has changed, and if you, whether you've been in real estate 1 year or 12 years, you've seen it, right? We've seen the emergence of not only Zillow, but Zillow trying to get in our pockets and replace us. Redfin trying to get in our pockets and replace us. Open Door trying to replace us all together with 24/7 showings. Knock.com, OfferPad.com. You see it? It's coming. And Gary saw this. You know, he sent a ripple across the industry 2 years ago at Family Reunion when he stood there and pronounced that we are a technology company. And everyone, including Inman News, said, well, what are you talking about? You're not a technology company, you're a real estate company. So at the end of the day, what's the one thing that buyers and sellers want from us? Information, right? And that information becomes more and more powerful. The same way that Alexa with Amazon, you saw Kelly's in her infancy, Alexa was in her infancy at some point, but now you can ask Alexa pretty much anything, right? The power of that's not so much that it's a cool bells and whistle kind of thing that you can, speak without having to text. It's what's called the consumer insight, which is the data underneath all kinds of software, whatever software platform you use for content management, whether you're using Top Producer or LionDesk, or whether you use what KW has developed. It's the data underneath it all that we transmit, right, to the market center. Did you know that we're the only real estate company in the world that sends every single closing transactional data back to its international hub? RE/MAX doesn't do it. Why? Because they're independently owned franchises and they're not networked together. They don't really have a national network other than Facebook. RE/MAX agents that go to conventions, but they don't transmit back to RE/MAX International. What that means,
Go ahead. And then I want to ask
what it means is we're the largest real estate company in the world now, right? So we have a data set that is so credible that Zillow wants it so badly. Zillow wants it, Redfin wants it, Fidelity wants it so bad. Any of you heard of Fidelity? It's the nation's largest title company, but they also have invested in a software platform called Commissions Inc. They've also bought another title company called Stewart Title. They bought a loan origination company called Loan Depot. You see where they're going with that? They bought a brokerage out of California. If you saw the news after Family Reunion, 3 top Keller Williams teams defected and left and went to the Pacific Union Realty that's owned by Fidelity. What they really want to do is drive us to a point to where we're not needed, or certainly our value proposition is diminished. And so Gary saw this coming. And
when
he
you
saw
say us, you mean
agents.
The real estate agents.
Yeah, agents, right? Agents. They look at what we're paid, and we all know we're paid well, but we know we work hard, right? We work hard. Well, technology, Gary saw this several years ago, that technology should be an enabler to help us do things faster, more efficiently, and provide better service to our clients, right? So when he announced that we were a technology company and the world kind of gasped, what they don't understand is that we've been developing technology since the 90s. How many of you heard of profit sharing? Hello? Very sophisticated system that Keller Williams built internally back in the late 90s to track that multiplicity of revenue streams from your downline.
Let's go back to something you said just a minute ago. When we transmit our data and the importance of that. When we transmit everything the first 3 business days of the month, we're actually transmitting how many days your listing was on the market. What was your average commission? What was your commission for that closing? And we average that up for you. We tell you what months you were very successful, what months your business declined, and you could go back. And that report's called the Multi-Year Trends Report. So every one of you have all of that data to help you run a predictable business, not just selling every now and then. So all of that data goes there, and that's what he's talking about. The power of that, you knowing how your average days on market is, you knowing what your average sales price is, you knowing when you go into a listing presentation that your average days on market is 7 versus what everybody else's is that powerful tool for you. That's what we're talking about, and we transmit all of that data to international, and they do all these amazing reports for you.
So imagine the power of that information for your seller is called a consumer insight, okay? And that's what Zillow tries to present with their Zestimate, and I tell people there's a reason it's not called a Zactimate, because it really is, because they don't have a credible data set. We're the nation's largest real estate company. We now have a data set that can teach something like Kelly. You've heard the term artificial intelligence. Well, that's what Kelly really is. And as Robin said, she's in her infancy.
She grows up.
But the power of where Kelly's going, imagine this. Imagine being able to tell Kelly, Bob and Sally Smith are moving from Dallas, Texas with IBM. And Kelly to be able to return for you the data migration, all the migration patterns of people moving from Texas to Atlanta, the median sales price in Dallas versus Atlanta. Who could you work with in the Highland Park neighborhood of Dallas to sell their home without having to go to Facebook? See, those are the consumer insights that when you go to a listing presentation or a buyer consult, being able to drill down into that in the next 12 to 18 months, it's coming. In fact, the whole underpinning of it all is called KW Command, and Robin showed that up on the system, on the screen. And what Gary is invested in, when I say Gary, this is a man who's on the top 2,000 wealthiest people in the world, and he's very humble about that. But he has personally invested $44 million back into this company and technology. He hired the best and the brightest from Silicon Valley. Josh Team and their company sitting there in Austin, Texas.
Then he fired a bunch of them.
Fired a bunch of them that he stood on stage with the year before, and he's the first to say, have we made some mistakes? Yeah. Was market leader, E-Edge, was that a mistake? Yes. But you know what? We all make the best decisions. Don't you tell sellers this when they go, gosh, I've never bought that place. Well, we make the best decisions we can at the time with the information presented in front of us, right? And the issue with us and with other brokerages has always been that we've bought into what somebody else told us that they were going to do for us, right? We bought into what they said they were going to do for us, and we tried to integrate it into our business, and we didn't get delivery on the promise. And Gary said, enough. I would rather spend $44 million of my own money and build a platform that will enable us not only through contact management, and the three things I want to talk about, and I'll turn it back over to Robin, the three really exciting
Before you
things.
do that, though, I want to say one thing. These labs, when I say he's been to this lab, I want you to understand what their purpose is. Gary's building this, and who is he listening to as to what is needed in the platform? Agents.
No.
So JD, as JD can sometimes do, gets a little bee in his bonnet, and he was fussing about something on Facebook. And then he decided to write Gary about it.
I did. I sent Gary an email, and he responded within an hour and asked me to come to Austin. So.
I just don't know of any other company, but I think that's.
Actually, he asked me if I would like to take a phone call, and I said,
Yes.
yeah, I'm available tomorrow. How about 3 o'clock? At 3:00, my phone rings. It says Mary Fluker. That's Gary's wife. He called me from her cell phone.
For
we
an
talked
hour
for
they
50
talked.
minutes. So, and he said, I'm doing this because I care. And he did. And then
He said, I know you're upset, let me talk you through this.
And I was upset because I didn't see the fact that we have third-party solutions, and some of us use Boomtown, I use Commissions Inc. You know, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't taking a direct hit and saying that, you know, we're going to replace all of that. And that's not at all what Keller Williams is saying. They're going to have open data source, so if you want to use your own platform, you can use your own platform. But the power of that consumer insight, this is the data that Zillow wants and Redfin wants, and the more they can get and gain these insights, the more they can go to a seller and say, why list your home with an agent when we have all this transactional data, and we can sell your house for half the price? They're going to negotiate, and Gary had to take a reactive posture and say, we need to harness the power of our data, and we need to build a mousetrap that's going to allow you, from the time that you meet somebody until after closing, and for 10 years, they're your referring client for life. We need something that's going to be able to keep in touch with them. It's going to be able to manage referrals across the country without having to go to something like Facebook. So the three things I want to talk about today, and it's coming out in June, and it's really exciting. The beta release of KW Command. KW Command is the underpinning of it all, okay? And it sits on top of the data, and it lets us talk to the data and transmit information back to the market center. So it'll be more efficient. Aaron will love this. The things are become more efficient on our end. Things are going to become more efficient on your end. The ability to say, add Robin to my database. And not only that, add Robin to action plan number 4. So there's KW Command being the contact management piece of it all is very sophisticated. The ability to go in and tag your database by where you met them, how you know them within your sphere, and then create smart plans is the second thing I'll talk about. The smart plans are action plans based upon where they came from, what their interest is, and how you want to market to them. But the reason that they're smart plans, unlike just regular action plans, imagine being able to set up a plan, and we're going to have some that are pre-delivered. We're working on them in the labs. But being able to have a plan that says, in 7 days, if the buyer hasn't responded, send this. If the buyer responds yes, send this. If the buyer responds no, go to this other route, okay? So Kelly is gonna learn those skills to be able to look and be in autopilot mode, and you tell her to add somebody to an 8x8, well, at the end of 8 days, she's gonna say, do you wanna add them to your 33 touch? Oh, yes, absolutely. So she's gonna have that information and she's gonna use it, and it's going to get smarter and smarter to be able to enable you, again, to do things faster, more efficiently, and not lose contact with your clients. So the smart plans are really, I think, the genius behind what we're going to do with the system in terms of helping you stay in contact with people in a way that MREA just set the foundation for. They're rewriting the book right now. Gary and Jay are in MREA 2, I think they're already working on 3.0, but there's some exciting things coming down that we've learned because Gary listens. The whole thing about MREA was a group of agents came to Austin, and Gary digested everything that they said and all their models and their systems, and he and Jay wrote that book, you know, and it's revolutionized the way we do business in the real estate industry. So there's the contact management piece of it called KW Command, but the smart plans that are coming that are really awesome. And the third thing that I'm really excited about is called Facebook Ad Accelerator. How many of you are on Facebook or use it? Almost everybody, right? Wouldn't it be great that once you put a listing in, or Amanda or whoever you use puts a listing into the system, that it automatically, the system would be able to automatically pull and create an optimized, targeted Facebook ad without you lifting a finger.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
Because
Really, really
it
cool.
knows your targets.
Yeah.
Because it has received that data
Yep.
from Transmittals.
Yep. Yep. And it'll be able to manage that, report to you the number of impressions and clicks, and it's all going to be seamless, and it's really very, very exciting. So, yeah.
You mentioned KW Command is going to be out in beta in June. Is that going to be a wide release beta, or is it only
Good
for
question.
labs?
I'll probably be coming back to Austin for a third trip and be able to come back and maybe show you some screens. We voted on this last week. We sat there for 8 hours and went screen by screen and pulled it apart and picked it apart and said, I don't like this color and I don't like the way that looks. And until Josh would say, now, almost like a Baptist invitational, every head bowed, every eye closed. The way this screen is right now, would you put your face on it and say, let us say that this is endorsed by you? And we would say yes, and we move on to the next one. So it's not just, we're not just talking. I mean, this has been a good 12 months before they even brought us in. I mean, they had the underpinning of it all. We just went in and said, you techies have designed some really cool stuff, but here's how it really works in the agent world.
Needs to work in the agent
Here's
world.
how it works in the agent world, and how it needs to work in the agent world. So it's going to be very, there's some, the basic out of the box, they call it OOB, out of the box, probably 80% of you be able to use it just as it is, right? But the other 20% is so easily customizable, and the training and everything will be a part of KW Connect, so you can just click on a video and see how it all works. And again, we're controlling this in-house. We're not working with a third-party vendor. This is all being built in Austin, Texas, by agents for agents. So,
That's pretty darn awesome.
anybody have a question
And
about?
JD represented single agents. He was the only single agent in
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. We
There
had
were big teams.
Wendy Papasan's team from Austin, which is really big. The Grand TV Group from Atlanta, who did $90 million last year in production. Sarah Reynolds out of the DC area, who did 417 transactions with her team last year. And Sarita Dua out of Portland, who did, I think she did 60 or 70 million last year. So it was, you know, there are some power lifters, and they'll tell you this platform is being developed for the top 20% of the agents in our company. And we know that if the power teams adopt this, that everyone else will follow. So he's really digging in and listening to what kind of workhorse do we have to build, right? For the underpinning of all that, how do we have to make it so that whether you're a mega team or a solo agent, that this is a platform that will appeal to everybody's business. So
exactly the opposite of E-Edge. It rolled out for single agents, and there was no team platform at first. So learn from mistakes, putting it out to handle the masses, and therefore it will work. Yeah,
For the
and
class.
JD represented that group. Any questions for JD? Ruth?
So are you saying like when you start putting information in for a listing or whatever the sequence of your transaction is, it's going to become more and more intuitive to what you're doing with each of your transactions?
Yes,
It reminds you?
absolutely. Those are called skills. So Alexa, she learns a skill, and when Kelly will learn a skill, the underpinning of the whole thing will learn those skills, so that, for instance, and because there'll be bigger teams or teams similar to yourself or agents similar to yourself on the platform, at some point Kelly will say, looking at other businesses like yours across Keller Williams, I think action plan number 12 would work really well for you. I was like, what? Yeah, because all of that, because we already transmit all that data anyway. Remember, we're the only real estate company that transmits all that stuff through Green Sheet so that we get paid. So she's going to take all that information, she's going to start learning from it and tell us, hey, based on, and look across other agents' businesses, based on the way other people, your GCI, your transaction volume, it looks like smart plan number 12 might work for you. So, yeah.
I just want to reemphasize too that this is all happening quickly, and that Kelly is young. She's like a toddler, and she may fall over, and you might have to put her in timeout every once in a while. But
Because she gets sassy.
yeah, so she's learning and she's growing, so that by the time that she has grown to a mature age, she's reading your mind.
Yeah.
She's
You
doing
are
this for
actually
you.
getting to train her like Siri was trained by some beta tester somewhere at one time. You're actually getting to train
Yeah,
her.
and all this is great for us as agents, but where we're headed with all of that, and Kelly's great for, to learn all of that and to have an agent-facing portal that's easy to use. Where we're really headed with this, the reason people use, how many of you have ever had a buyer send you something from Redfin? Isn't that great when they send you a Redfin listing? They go, can we go and look at this?
Yeah, it makes you mad.
Because Redfin has created this customer experience that is unparalleled, and Gary's taken a direct hit out. The reason that we're going so quickly with this, and I'll end with this, he wants to get this message out to Wall Street really quickly, that Redfin is not a technology company. They are a real estate company, and they need to be valued like a real estate company, and he will knock the legs out from under them. He's coming for them. He is coming for them, because if we don't come for them, they're coming for us, right?
They're the ones
Right.
who want to cut commissions, and he's trying to protect you.
Absolutely. He wants to protect your pocket. And he says, I work for you. He never, ever gets that twisted. Top 2,000 wealthiest people in the world, I work for you. So.
I'll tell you one thing that happened last month, just so you know, that it's progressing. We, as you all transmit, you're supposed to submit your listings, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, and how many times, anybody ever forgotten to hit the submit button? Yes, and so Erin is trying to find at the end of the month, she's going to FMLS and trying to match up to make sure we have them all in. Can you imagine how much of that time it takes for her? Well, last month, Kelly learned how to do that. And so she went out and grabbed them, and so I get our transmittal reports and I go, oh my gosh, our listings went up 28.9% over last year. Woohoo! Erin goes, you know how that happened, right? Tell me how that happened. I didn't have to go hunt them. They were automatically entered. So that's what's just one little thing she learned how to do last month. So pretty awesome. All right.
I just wanted to say, from agents in the Market Center, a big thank you to JD. I mean, you represented us so well, and
Y'all, if you think about it, we're not only the largest company, right? We're Triple Crown, and yet there's a direct line to Gary Keller. So things are not happening on this big global scale, and we've got no contact or connection to it. We're affecting what's happening every single day. And having JD come back and tell us about it, I mean, these are things that you can share with other agents when you get to the closing table, or when you're in the middle of a negotiation and they're not getting the resources that they need. Yo, we have a direct line to Gary Keller. I mean, it blows up my mind.
one thing that Gary said that still echoes in my mind is that within 12 to 18 months, if you're not a part of this, you're going to feel like an island. And he all but said, I don't care if you're Mark Spain, as big as you are, if you don't have the data set that we have to be able to drive the consumer insights, to be able to compete effectively in listing, and to say, Kelly, how many showings does it take in Buckhead 30305 before the house sells? I mean, that kind of level of data is nobody's gonna be able to touch you in a listing presentation or in a buyer console.
I'm so excited. There was another thing, and for those of you who weren't at Family Reunion, when they were showing KW come in, you could go in and they would say, based on this home, the agent, based on the sales of the homes, this house should sell for this much and will have an estimate amount of closing costs to be this much. So you can actually go back to other people's contracts and see what they negotiated, see what it went for, and be able to take that back.
Like an appraisal data.
I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, the last thing, Command has a really cool thing that we're gonna work on next week. We have a call, and it's for coming soon listings. You know how we do all that on Facebook? Mm-hmm. Imagine being able to have that resident in your own, your website, your consumer facing portal that takes all of our
website.
Yeah, no, it won't be Play, it'll be KW.
Whatever
it'll be your KW website, your KW consumer app, which all of us, we've heard you need to use the consumer app. This is going to be powerful because this is what's going to knock Redfin on its butt, because we'll be able to, through our whole market center, be able to see everyone's, if you want to participate, but your coming soon listings, and show your buyer, my office has these that are about to come, without having to go to a private Facebook group, and be able to have that information so that we know the market before the market happens, right?
That's inventory. I mean, that's
exactly
so powerful when there's next to nothing on the market.
And we're going to finish with this one. He's going to come back and do it again when he goes to the next thing. Would you all want to hear that?
Oh, yeah. June, I hope to be able to show you something.
That'd
so
be
I'm
awesome.
super excited about it.
That'd be awesome. And one thing that I'm going to leave you with, you can ask Kelly, what's going on in my market center this month?
Yep.
And guess what she'll show you?
She showed me, I did that earlier, she said house call was at 11:30.
It shows you the training calendar. So for all of you who said, I don't ever know what's going on, ask Kelly. She'll tell you. Isn't that awesome? Thank you, JD. Thank you all for coming. And please stay and for our class this afternoon. It'll be great.
I just, it's got